Hey, welcome to Magic Lantern Films video web rant. I'm Peter Remo. Thanks for watching. A couple weeks ago, I really wanted to talk about this. A couple weeks ago, I put up a post regarding the chaos that is encircling the life of one Mel Gibson. And in that posting, I had said that, in light of everything that was happening at the time, I think there were only 2 audio tapes being released on Radar online. I said that he was a very talented filmmaker and actor, and no matter what a celebrity or filmmaker or actor does, if I admire them as an artist, I'll certainly continue to see their work, and that certainly is the case for Mel Gibson, who I think is a very accomplished director, Oscar-winning director for the brilliant Braveheart, a wonderful actor. Earlier this year I had a posting as well, a review of Edge of Darkness, which was his first film in 8 years, which perhaps wasn't the best of films, but it was good to see him back in action. Now we're a couple weeks later, and there's now a total of 6 of these very, very ugly, vulgar audio tapes, very slowly being leaked out, little by little, 2 minutes here, 4 minutes there. We're now at the 6th audio tape that's released on Radar online. Nice to see that they've gotten some great publicity out of this whole thing. And today, July 27th, they posted quote-unquote shocking photos of Oksana's eye, swollen, darkened, black eye, swollen all around as well, and it cites it as being crucial evidence and strong support in the investigation into Mel Gibson and the domestic violence allegations. And I just wanted to speak to to this absurdity, and the absurdity definitely of the fact that of today's shocking photos, but more importantly, the insanity and all these inane conclusions going around by media outlets that I've watched, that I've read, people that I speak to, blogs, websites, all that, and the conclusions that people are coming up with based on absolutely very, very little evidence, not waiting to see how this thing plays out. And I think it's very irresponsible, and it's a shame. Number one, and I should preface the entire rant by saying, not in any way do I condone a lot of what Mel says or allegedly says on these audio tapes. I certainly never condone ever hitting a woman, if that is actually the case, and that hasn't been proven to that. Mel, as of this past Sunday, met with Los Angeles sheriff detectives to go into his allegations over her, Oksana, his girlfriend, and they have a child, a daughter, 8 months old, of extortion. And he says, or his lawyer says, that they have a lot of evidence regarding emails and texts showing that she wants money. Now, the whole thing strikes me as very odd, because one, if you are a woman or any person who has had some harm done to you by another human being, and you wanted justice, then you would be dealing directly with law enforcement. You would be dealing with police officers, not looking to suck out money from Radar online little by little by little. It just strikes me as being very, very odd. That if some great harm was done to you, you'd be working directly with the police. You wouldn't be eking out every dollar and every penny, even though you're a failed musician apparently, from a website. So that strikes me as very, very odd. People that have been hurt want justice, not necessarily just money. So I think that's odd. Also, this whole fight, the alleged fight where he allegedly hit her and the baby, took place in January, like January 6th, and a restraining order and all this went down in June. You wait five months. Now, I think that's odd as well, and I think little by little we'll find out more of these oddities. So don't jump to any conclusions and rile against Mel Gibson. Just because you've heard him say, all these vulgarities and scream at her, or and racial slurs and all that. Listen, don't be so pious, okay? Everyone says horrible things in the midst of a fight. This is taken completely out of context. In fact, there are a lot of experts that say that these tapes have been doctored. And if you have nothing to hide, why are these tapes even edited or doctored, if in fact that's the case? The good thing about that is if they are edited, then they're not admissible in any court. So that's that. And I would wonder why you're even doctoring it if that's the case, if you have nothing to hide. They're taken out of context. We listen to them when we think, oh my God, Mel's a monster. Mel's an animal. Listen, I've been in many arguments and fights before. I've heard a lot worse than what Mel has said, and I'm sure a lot of people have heard worse or have said just as bad, in arguments of their own. Fact of the matter, and I said this in my last posting, is that Mel Gibson happens to be a very famous movie star. So we give a shit what he has to say. And if we hear Mel screaming bitch and fuck and you're this and you're that and racial slurs and all that, we care, and websites will pay money. You and I are saying nobody gives a shit. But it's Mel Gibson, okay? So we're right on top to vehemently get on him and crucify him, pardon the pun. And I just think that's very wrong. I don't know, and I also want to know where his friends are. I see Whoopi Goldberg used her platform, The View, to say that Mel wasn't a racist, and they went to Danny Glover, but Danny Glover's people don't have a comment. Danny Glover should have just said 2 words, thank you. Okay, now I know Danny Glover's a really good actor and stuff, but people mostly associate him with 4 lethal weapons, okay? And if you found him to be such a racist, then why would you have made 2 crappy sequels, 3 and 4, with him? All right? He must have been a good guy. You must have enjoyed working with him. At some point, you could have said something like that. You could have backed the guy up, and thank you for making all that money, because it was really all Mel Gibson. Okay, but no, everyone's avoiding him like the plague. And that bothers me also. I want to see other people other than Britney Spears and Whoopi Goldberg speak on behalf of this guy. My point is that there's a lot more that I'm sure will be leaked out little by little, and let's not pounce on this guy so quickly. Okay, let's not judge the guy so quickly, okay? He might have his demons, might be a bad guy at some parts, or, might be a misogynist. I have no idea. I'm not claiming to know him, and again, I'm not condoning him. And if he did hit her, then this is all moot, and we have another problem, and that's subject for another rant. I'm hoping that he didn't. But we don't know the relationship. We don't know the context of these arguments, these audio tapes. And we don't know anything about whether or not this girl was hit, this woman was hit. So I'm seeing this stuff, and it makes me a little sick to my stomach when I read in the paper or I see on TV, and it's this threatening music and painting Mel Gibson out to be a bad guy. I hope he is in the clear. I've known people in my life who have just lied and pointed a finger for either reasons of for money, for financial reasons, or just because they were just insane or psychotic or troubled in some way. So it happens, and there are people out there that are just looking for attention, looking for money, and Oksana may be one of these people. Now, the audio tapes are very disturbing, and I've heard them. I made sure to hear them before I did this rant. They're very disturbing. But again, I'm listening to it knowing it's out of context. I don't know what else was said. I don't know, at what point this tape was being made, after what what they were speaking about beforehand. But I'm a fan of Mel Gibson. What he needs to do is get a PR guy. He needs to lay low, to keep quiet, let this all fan out, plan out and come out, however it comes out. He needs his friends to speak up for him. And his wife of 28 years, his ex-wife, spoke out on his behalf. She says he was a loving father, devoted father, and she never saw one sign of domestic abuse, violence. So, and that's a woman from 28 years with him, and longer than that, counting past the marriage. So, little by little, hopefully things will start to look up. Guy needs a hug. He needs some friends. He needs to lay low. He needs a good PR guy to turn his image around, and hopefully we'll get to seeing him back in front of the camera or behind the camera, making the good films that we expect from Mel Gibson. Alright? Look forward to your comments. Tell me what you think of Mel Gibson, what's going on with him, what you think of my opinions on him. Thanks for watching. Mel, hang in there.